have moved from step 1 from step 2, and I decided to try to do it horizontally instead of vertically. Is that right? Last time I did it, I was gonna put it on Instagram. I decided not to. Step 2. So step 1, if you missed it, you can go back and catch the other video. Step 1, I'm gonna share this while I'm talking to you, so I'm not ignoring you. Possibly I'm going to share it if it's here. Step 1 is your word of the year. And remember, all these steps are optional, and they're just a fun way to get in alignment, right? Because you already are magic inherently. So, but step 2 can be one that can get us on a, it can either get us on a, how shall I say? It can be helpful and it can push us outside of our comfort zone, but it can also put us in a spot of, there we go, share in an event. I think this is going to make it so people who are going to the event page can find everything. Post. Share in a group. And share on my timeline. Okay, all the sharing is done. Well, all the sharing of the video. I'm right up in your face. Okay, and now I am where I actually do have a printout of the workbook. So you can definitely do this in your own journal if you want. You can do it in the workbook that is in the Be Magic group. I should put that link there in case somebody doesn't have it. Let's see. Actually, you can find it. I'll put it on there later. I don't want to keep going back and forth, but it's in this step 1, and I'll put it on this one. Next time I'll be more prepared. I had to transition from home to office today, so that's what's happening. Oops. Rotate your phone. You can't turn your phone while recording. Okay. Oh my goodness. I just knocked over my tripod and dropped you guys. So sorry. Let me see if I can fix this. There we go. Okay. This tripod does not want to be stable. What can I use to prop it? Okay, so as I was saying, you can print out this workbook. Obviously you don't have to print the cover because that's a lot of ink, but these steps are also pretty much all in the planner if you have the planner, and just you can use your journal too. So the first step was, we were talking about our word of the year on the last one, so I won't go over the whole thing. But I also asked you, because the word of the year cannot be commanded to come out earlier than it's supposed to. So I said you could work on thinking about what you want to be, do, and have. And this next step kind of follows along with that, because you're going to write out, and see, I didn't have my workbook with me last time. And that's another thing in the be, do, have, is how do you want to feel? Because that can sometimes lead to the word of the day, like when the next year comes, like what are the main things that you wanted to have felt? Did you want to feel successful, accomplished, blissful, joyful? You know, what are the things that you want to take away from the end of this year? And a lot of times, like sometimes we think we want the thing, but mostly we all just want the feeling, right? We want to feel fulfilled and successful and happy and joyful and all those things. So, all right, it's a good thing I got the workbook because I had this backwards in my brain. So the next step is to script out your best days of the year. So if you're not familiar with scripting, I teach a lot about that in the academy. There's a whole class on scripting and prayer rain journaling. And basically what that is you're writing out or telling, you know, if you're going to do it in the workbook, you're going to write it. But you can also, like, if writing is you're like, that's not what I want to do, you can tell it to somebody, or you can even just, like, sometimes the way that I like to script, because if you don't have somebody who's playing along with you, I can do it in my car and pretend like I'm talking to somebody on the speakerphone and telling them about it. But what the trick is to scripting is you're going to tell people about, or say out loud, what has happened as if it's already happened, or it's happening right now. You definitely want it to be at least present tense, or, you know, like you're telling a friend, oh my gosh, I can't believe this wonderful thing happened. And this year in 2019, I went on this trip, I did this thing, I got a new job. Can't get it to play. It should be live right now. I don't know what's happening if it's not. It looks like it's working on mine, so sometimes usually if the connection goes bad, it'll come back and it'll show after the video, so hopefully everybody can catch it then. Yes, scripting, prayer rain journaling. The name of prayer rain journaling, it is said to come from a story of there's a place where there was a huge drought, and so they went to get this tribal elder. I don't know if this story is true. I've heard it so many times in so many ways, but it's the concept that you want. And they bring this tribal elder out to the place where the drought is, where there's no water, and because he's going to pray for rain, or she, it could be either one, right? So they take this tribal elder out, and he stands there for, you know, however many minutes, and he's like, okay, let's go. And as he's walking away, the rain comes down. They're like, hey, wait a minute, what happened? I thought you were gonna pray for rain. What did you do? And he's like, I didn't pray for rain, I prayed rain. And that means he felt the rain coming down. He saw the land saturated with rain. And that's what we want to do when we're scripting out our day, when we're prayer rain journaling out our day, is to actually see and feel that happening and talk about it in present tense, or, you know, past tense if you're going to be pretending like you're telling somebody. But you definitely don't want to talk about it as something that happens in the future, because then you're always putting it off into the future. So there is, in the workbook and in the planner, both of them have this section, which is scripting out your best day, 2 best days of the year. So one is your new normal. Like, what is your new normal like? Like, if your life is perfectly as you want it to be on a daily basis, that's great. But if there are new things that you want to add, do, be, have, what you want to write is write out that whole day in detail of what you would like a normal average day in your new normal to be like. You know, what do you do? When do you get up? What do you eat for breakfast? Where do you go? What do you do? Do you go to that new job? Do you do, you know, everything that goes into that day? And I would challenge you to look and see how many things you could add right now from that day, that scripted day now, because the more you can touch base with it now, then the easier it's going to be to bring it into reality. And this is something that you definitely want to not just write down once. You can write it and read it every day, or you can write it and you can write it every day in the journal too, and just let it come out how it comes out, and see how it evolves. So the second part is writing out your one of your peak days, like something that you really want to have happen, but it's not going to be something that happens every day, right? Like maybe you want to get a new job, and your first day on your new job, or when you get that notice that you got the job, or you start a business, or you get married, or you go to Tahiti. That's on my list, actually. I know I'm going to Tahiti in 2 weeks, yay. So whatever those things are, like write out what that experience is going to feel like when you're doing it. What's going to be happening? What are you going to see? What are you going to smell? What are you going to hear? How are you going to feel? Really tap into those feeling emotions. And so that's the step 2 on there, is to go through and write those out. So step 1 is your word of the year, and since that is a finicky thing, you know, let it come when it comes, and you can work on a little bit of the be, do, haves, or how you're going to want to feel, your predominant feelings that you want to experience in 2019. And then on the next step is the scripting out those 2 days, your normal day and then a peak special day that's not going to be something that you would have every day. And so it's 9:16. I will be back here on 10, and when I come back on 10, I'm going to have some coupon codes for people who don't have the planner and want to get it. I have a special for people who purchase today, and I'm going to have the code then, and I'll put it in the event thing too. Oh, it's upside down. Okay, so you would get a free copy of this book with the planner if you order today. Also, anybody that comments that is not a member of the premium, the Daily Alchemy Premium Online Lab, Alchemy Lab, will get, I'm going to be giving away 1 free month membership to that, and right now it is on sale, so it's very low. If you buy for the whole year, you get 2 months free, and it's like 64 cents a day. There is a ton of content in there, so I will put up link in here to the Be Magic group where you can download the workbook for free, and I will put a link in to the Academy so you can see. So make sure that if you're on here, even if you have to go and come back and do the work later, just leave a comment, because everybody that leaves a comment will go in for the drawing to win. And I will be back at 10 with step 3, which is one of my favorite and least favorite, because it can bust you out of things, but you really have to do it the right way, because if you don't, you can get your emotions all in twirl. So yeah, step 1 is here, and this is step 2, and step 3 is coming up at 10 a.m. and I will see you then.